Good afternoon, everybody. So today for a late lunch, I'm going to make my husband and I turkey burgers. I make them homemade, and they're actually, the recipe is called perfect turkey burgers, but I do not call them that because I have made them before and I can't even eat them. So I don't know, maybe it just depends on my mood on whether I want to have turkey burgers or not. So I'm hoping today that they will turn out well and that my husband and I will be in the mood to eat them. They're very different. I've never ate a lot of turkey burgers. I think these are the only ones I've ever ate that I've ever made. But the recipe calls for, I have my recipe card here that I made out, and the recipe card calls for portobello mushroom cap, one large one. So when I went to the store to buy those this week, the portobello mushroom caps were more expensive than the mini portobellos. So what I do is I just buy the miniature portobellos that come in these, little packs, little 8-ounce packs. I wash them up. I let them drain on a it's going to be one of those days where I can't find my words, on a cloth kitchen towel. And then I take these out. And I was so fascinated today when I took these out because they just kind of popped out. And I think this is so cool looking. And then you have the little hole in there where it came out of. But I wanted to show you guys that. These, you certainly don't want to waste these. I'll probably just eat these with a little hummus or ranch dressing and eat them. They would be really good. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 portobello, little baby portobello mushrooms. And the way I measure it is I just put them all together, and if it looks like it's the size of a portobello cap, that's what I use. And then it calls for parsley, fresh parsley. Here's my fresh parsley. Whenever I go to the store to get parsley for this, they never have flat parsley. And I don't know much about cooking with parsley because I tend to not like it, but I like it in these. They always have curly parsley, but never flat parsley. It's always sold out. So I'm assuming most people eat flat parsley, but I've always made it with this. You can make it with whatever kind of parsley you want. So it calls for 3 loose tablespoons of parsley. So I just eyeball it. That's kind of how I cook. And then it calls for shallots. I don't know where I put it, but I never cooked with shallots before until I started making these turkey burgers. And so I sliced up a tablespoon of roughly chopped shallots, and they're just those little, I guess they're part of the onion family. It smells very oniony, smells very good. And then it calls for 1 1/4 pound of ground turkey. It calls for extra virgin olive oil. Calls for Worcestershire sauce, however you choose to say that. Salt and pepper, and then after I get that all mixed up, then we fry them up in a pan until they get nice and crispy. That's how we like them. And then when that's all done, I'll show you how we top them. It's kind of unique and very yummy. So I'm going to get this started, and I will set up, and then I will be right back. Okay, so the first thing you do is you put your first 3 ingredients, which are the shallots, and you're supposed to use a food processor. I have this attachment to my blender that's kind of like a food processor, so this is what I use. I have an old food processor, but it's so hard for me to use that I rarely ever use it. So, tablespoon of loosely, roughly chopped shallots. It's going to be one of those days. And then the portobello mushrooms go in there. The parsley. I got 2 more mushrooms to put in. And then what we do is we just grind this up until it's very fine. I can get my cap on. And then I'll grind this up, and I'm going to turn you off because I don't want you to have to hear all of the grinding. So I'll just get this started. Okay, so that took a lot longer than I thought it should. But anyways, here is what it looks like. Just is all ground up nice and fine. It smells very good. It smells exactly like the ingredients in there. So I have some larger chunks, not large, but I'll just probably chop them up a little bit. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to pull my ground turkey over, and we'll start mixing everything together. All right, so I've got my ground turkey. This is 1 1/4 pounds, maybe a little bit more. I don't ever weigh things, or so, but it came in a 3-pound pack, so I figured it out. So we'll chop that up. We'll dump this in. Really excited about eating these today because I think they're going to be good. They smell amazing, so maybe my body is going to want a turkey burger today and not refuse it. So, oops, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to kind of chop that in there. So here it is. Kind of like making meatloaf, but not really. Wrong ingredients. Okay, so now we're going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. I bet you could make these without the olive oil, but you know, makes it good. And then a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. I have name brand, but this was already open in the fridge, so maybe I'll just put, oh, it smells so good. Maybe I'll put just a little bit extra in since it's not name brand. Maybe 1 1/2. Okay. Put the lid on these. Sorry, I gotta remember not to do those arm shots. Nobody wants to see that, right? All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to wash my hands. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to mix this up like you would making meatloaf. Just kind of mix it all together. I know there are people that make burgers like this too. They put different ingredients in. I'm not one of those people. If I have a burger, I just have a burger, but I'm not opposed to it. I just don't do it. So I'm getting this all mixed up real nice. It looks really pretty with the parsley in there. And then the light color of the mushrooms. Looks beautiful. I think food should be pretty. That's why if you watched like when I made the veggie tray, I think people are more apt to eat things when it looks pretty and beautiful, looks appetizing. So, all right, This is looking really good. Okay, so here it is. It's got little flecks of green for the parsley, little flecks of mushroom in there. And it smells really good too. Okay, so I'm going to wash up my hands and I'm going to get my frying pan hot, and then I'll bring you back to show you what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I'm at the oven, the stove. I'm not really sure what do you call that? An oven or a stove? Because it's both. I don't know. Anyways, I digress. So I have my heat on kind of medium high, and it says here that you can grill these or you can fry them. I've never made them on the grill. So I think because I put 2 tablespoons of oil in the mix, I'm not going to use a lot of olive oil for frying. So I think what I'm going to do is put Pam in to help with the sticking. And then I might put just maybe just like a tablespoon of oil, if that. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just put a tablespoon of oil in there to help with the browning, and of course it makes it taste good. So while this is heating up, I'm going to make the patties. And this is supposed to make 4 patties, but that's a lot of meat. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. So I'm going to grab, and I'm assuming, I don't remember. It's been so long since I've made these. I don't remember how much they shrink up. So I'm just going to make a nice, probably a patty a little bit larger than my palm of my hand. I think you want it to be a little bit bigger. I'm a person that likes really thin burgers. But I don't know, I feel like these should be a little bit different. So here's my first patty. You know what? I didn't put salt and pepper in these, but I'll put it in as I'll top them with it. So is this hot enough yet? Let's see, let me put a little in here. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit, okay? Okay, so my pan is sizzling. So I'm gonna put them in here. Ooh, you hear that? It's exciting. I'll make another patty. I probably could have had these all made up, but it's kind of fun just to talk and do it. It's kind of like having my mom or daughter in the kitchen. You guys are taking their place. So here's another patty. I'll put that in. I think this is going to make more than 4 patties. So we'll see what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll make like 5 of them. I think you could always freeze it. Okay. Another one in there. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit because I want them to get, oh, they smell so good. Because I want them to get done in the middle. I'm a person who thinks burgers should be done, not bleeding. So I have 4 in the pan. I'm going to make another one here. I actually probably have enough to make 7 burgers. So maybe I'm not making them as big as you're supposed to, but that's all right. No big deal. I'll put the other one in there. So I think that's all I'm going to make right now. So let me wash my hands and I'll be back. Okay, so I have 5 burgers. in here frying. They smell amazing. I have them on just a little bit above a medium-high heat. So I'm just gonna let these cook in here. I want them to get nice and crispy on both sides. So I'm gonna let these cook. When I turn them, I'll bring you guys back and let you see what they look like as they're cooking. And until then, I'm going to start getting my toppings ready. All right, these are getting ready to turn. I'm going to put the salt and pepper on them. We like lots of pepper. And who are we kidding? I like a lot of salt, but my husband not so much. Okay, so I'm going to turn these. I've got my favorite broken spatula. Ooh, they're looking nice. See how they're nice and brown? Oh yeah. Oh, those are looking beautiful. So these are turning out really nice. They smell really good. That's a good sign. So we're just going to let these continue to cook on the other side for probably, I don't know, 7 to 10 minutes maybe. We'll see. Okay? Okay, so toppings are super important for this burger. So this is what we use for a bun. Just original Thomas's English muffins. You can toast them, but the recipe does not recommend it, and so we don't toast them. We just use them as is. So those will have to be split. Calls for avocado. Ooh, look at that. I bought them in advance so they get nice and green. So that'll get sliced up. It does not call for tomatoes, but I had some and they were going bad, so I wanted to offer those up. It calls for mild cheddar, thin slices of cheese. You can use whatever you want though, but this is what the recipe calls for. And then it calls for mayonnaise, and it calls for spicy brown mustard. Of course, I think I will use just regular yellow mustard. But those are the toppings that it calls for. So I just wanted to show those to you, and I will continue to get those ready while the other side of the turkey burgers cook. So I'm just preparing the sandwiches. I cut open the English muffins. I put 1 slice of cheese on each sandwich. I'm assuming my husband wants spicy mustard, so I'll put a little bit of that on his. I think I'm going with yellow mustard. Not a big fan of spicy mustard. I think it has, well, it doesn't say it has horseradish in it, but I don't know. I feel like I tasted a mustard once that had horseradish in it, and I did not like that at all. So for me, I'm going to have just some regular mustard. I'm going to put tomato on mine. I don't know if my husband will want tomato, but I will do that on top of the dressing because that's how I like it. And then for the avocado, I like thick slices of avocado. I don't know about you guys, but I love avocado. I like it on toast and all kinds of good stuff. So there's some avocado. So I'm going to put some slices on there. Some on mine with the tomato. And now I'm going to go check on the burgers. Alright, so I'm going to check on the burgers. I'm going to flip them. Oh yeah. These look really delicious. They're getting nice and crispy. Nice and toasty. They're very juicy. I'm going to let them cook some more, and then we'll be back. Okay, they're all done. That took longer than I thought, but probably because I showed you every single process, so sorry about that. But here's mine. Doesn't it look delicious? Put the top on it, and there's the burger. Here's my husband's. I didn't put tomato. He may want tomato, but we'll see. So there's my husband's. And I think I'm going to eat mine with some vegetables from my veggie tray I made the other night, and a little dip. And my son's going to join us for lunch as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. Give them a try and see if you like them. I'll see you next time.